what you do. You buy these players that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without books. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first two episodes, the second series.
We are on the site of the castle,
and it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that. Absolutely fascinating. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry I've been... thing went, all of the internet went, and it was shocking, you know. I couldn't get back on. Did you all miss me? Did you miss me for 3 days? I've got a brilliant guest on tonight. A genuine supporter, loves the club, loves everything about Liverpool, and he is a very special guest, good friend, good everything, good at that. One of the most respectful podcasters, in my opinion, around. And just before we bring him on, I'm not telling you who it is yet. Just before I bring him on, I've got to mention these lovely people. Gap Painting Services. Gap Painting Services is the sponsor of the Frank Carlyle podcasts, all the podcasts I do. Listen, don't struggle trying to paint, because look at me. I broke my neck, didn't I? I broke my neck. And I'm at the hospital again tomorrow. I'm in and out of hospital every day. I forget what you call it, you know, rather than staying there, I've got to go up and go to doctors, and so I'm up there again tomorrow. Don't struggle like me, especially if you're elderly, and especially if you're an NHS worker, because if you're an elderly person, you get a special discount. And if you're an NHS worker, even if you're a cleaner, even if you mop the floors of the hospital, you get a special discount because you work for the NHS. Get them in, don't struggle, as I said. And even if you're not fitting into those categories, you still get reasonable prices. They're in and out, fully time served and fully insured. So if they do any damage, which they don't, by the way, it's paid for, you're okay. You don't have to worry. So anyway, that's Gap Painting Services, who sponsor the Frank Carlyle podcasts. And I'm going to bring in this fellow. Lovely fellow. And there he is, well respected. and it's none other than Jamie Phillips. Hello, Jamie.
Oh, mate, you're right.
Yeah, good. I'm good, thanks. Good for having you on anyway.
Good to be here, man. Good to be here.
So listen, we'll just talk about Diogo. How did you receive the news? You know, because everybody, like me, I was just sitting up in bed when I got a text off a friend of mine and says, "Have you heard about Diogo?"
Yeah.
So how did you find out?
I found out through a WhatsApp. So someone WhatsApped me that morning and just said, "I can't believe the news, but Diogo Jota passed away." And I didn't reply to him. I just went and checked social media, and then I saw that article by, I think it was Marker, who put it out first. And then I was hoping it was just like one of these sick jokes that people sometimes do for some reason, and it weren't real. And then more news started to come out, and then I had Sky News on at the time, I think, and it flashed up there, and that's when it became a reality and hit. And yeah, it knocked me for six, man. It knocked me for six. Really,
it knocks everybody, you know, the whole of the football in Wales, and I'm not just talking about Liverpool supporters as well. I'm talking about everybody, and the respect he had was incredible, and what he did for other, you know, charities and other people. I'll give you an example what he did up here. Do you ever remember reading about, there and on the news about those three little lovely girls being attacked and killed in Southport last year at a little Taylor Swift dance routine thing?
Yeah.
And one of the dads, you know, later on, he ran in a marathon, you know, for awareness, for charity, you know, to try and bring some money in as well. And Diogo got hold of him. He actually phoned him up. And this is what kind of a fella Diogo Jota was. What I mean, Jamie?
1 minute, my mic.
What's up?
Well, I'm going to come in and out because my mic's not working. I'll be right back. 1 minute.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I'll just go through some of these wonderful comments as well, what we get. It's Edward, the man is back. The internet crashed because Frank wasn't on it. You're right, I wasn't on it. And Simon says, have we got the green light for tonight, Jason? He's asking the producer. And Edward again, I think the season will be more competitive, with City buying, Arsenal buying, and Chelsea buying. I agree. I agree. Jamie Phillips will be on tonight. It's been too long without a Frank and a Jamie. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Donna Scottish, I really do. Hi, Frank and Jack. Can I, first of all, thank everyone for the love and support provided to each other. It has been a difficult week, but it's the right time to try and get back to some normality. Yes, absolutely. I agree there, Simon. I totally agree. This is what Jamie and I will be talking about, hopefully, and you as well. You know, I'll be reading out your comments as well. So don't be worrying. And Simon, frankly, I'm getting a little concerned that after a good start to the window, we have a situation now where Quansah needs replaced. Konate and Diaz seem to want out, and we have the Nunes Chiesa conundrum. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a very good show. I appreciate yous, Edwards, and some leeway, but a lot of work still to be conducted, as well as the decision the club makes regarding Diogo's position. Personally, I've still to be run over by yous, think I'm not saying a lot of people, but some people I do know, myself included, by the way. Simon says at Bournemouth he brought in Hussein and Kirkes for bargains, but so far apart from Verts, we're paying market prices. I still have judgment held on him and how the squad looks at the start of the season. See, the point is, that's Bournemouth, if you know what I mean, Simon. That's Bournemouth. This is Liverpool. No matter if Liverpool go after a player, the price goes sky high. It really does. Just hang on a sec. Lower the lights a little. Is that any better? I don't know whether that's better or not. And so it's that sort of scenario, unfortunately, Simon. We just have to wait and see. As I said, Simon, personally, I think we need 2 centre-backs. Guy, I don't know how to pronounce that fella's name, and another one. Replacement for Diaz, either Fofana or Rodrigo, and potentially 2 strikers. I just can't see them spending neither can I, to be honest. Neither can I. And you'll get all the rumours, you'll get all the stupid misinformation. Glad your footy streams are back on, Frank says. Thank you, Edward. Thank you. The Red Bears. Mr. Carlyle, how are you, Sir Bob? The vlogs. Hello, Frank. Hope all is well. Still can't process the news, which is almost a week ago already. I believe some players were back training yesterday. It must have been it was very hard for them. Still heartbroken. We all are. Unfortunately, we all are, mate. It really is. I'll just show you this, if I might. I'll just show you this. I went up there, and I didn't have struggle. And I lay this. I was with Francie. Ben, my grandson. He's gone to Thailand to fight all these. Well, he's gone today, actually, for a month. He's fighting, the martial arts. That's where he's gone. He's gone to fight all these, fights in Thailand, martial arts, or so. I don't know what kind of thing you call it. So anyway, he's gone there. So Ben and our little, my little granddaughter, Sophia, her little friend came with us. And they were not half upset. Really upset, and I just laid that there. Well, I didn't. I couldn't bend down, so Francine laid it down for us all. The little Carlyle family. So great tributes all round, And what got me as well, people from all over. I was just the way they talk and whatever. Different accents, not all Scots, but different accents coming from all over the country. I even seen a couple of Norwegians. They came over. You see, that's the respect. I don't know how Bob got me in the chat, says the Red Bear. I don't know how myself, to be honest. I'm freezing my journey. There's an art there. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Simon. Lovely backstage images. Diogo, you'll never walk alone. Yeah. I've got to see Toscana. Hi, Franco. Buonasera, Toscana, caro mio. Hi, Franco. Good to have you back. Hope you're well. Hope you're all well. The weather's good next week, and my son's okay. Oh, brilliant. We're going over to Anfield. Listen, listen, I've got to get your phone number, or you've got to get mine. That's Jason. Get onto the thing. Get Jason to give you my phone number. Oh, well, you've got it. I'll tell you what, I'll definitely message you later on. Okay, I'll honestly, after the show, I'll message you. And the Redbird, it's Jamie. Yes, I still watch your shows. I just don't chat much. Great show earlier, Jamie. Oh, they are. Look at that. I've had a fella since what time did he go? 9:30 this morning, and he just left before. I didn't know whether but he fixed it. You know, it's terrible. I'm gonna bring Jamie in now, and there he is.
Yeah, man, that's better.
Oh yeah, that's better because you were a bit like muted.
Yeah. It's Google Chrome, man.
Oh, Google.
Yeah, Google Chrome don't like StreamYard anymore. I had to go on Microsoft.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it weren't letting me connect my microphone, so it was just coming through the camera. So
is that all it's coming through now? The camera? Yeah.
No, it's coming through the mic now. It's coming through the mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all good. Back to normal. We're there.
Listen, one of the lads said before, I'll have to go up on. I'll be going through a few, but I think this was a good comment actually. Hang on, just give me a minute. Oh, come on, where are you? Oh, bloody hell. Right. Here's the thing. It's from Simon. Frank, I'm getting a little concerned that after a good start to the window, we have a situation now where Kwanzaa needs replaced. Konate and Diaz seem to want out, and we have the Nunes Chiesa conundrum. What's your take on that, James?
I think people were just going to look. Chiesa, I don't think Chiesa needs to be replaced because he never played. So personally, I don't think that's a worry for the club. Nunes will be replaced. We'll get a striker in. There's no doubt about that. Nunes will be replaced. Mark Guehi, who Liverpool want, I think because of the Jota situation, that's why that's gone quiet out of respect. So I think that'll pick up again probably next week. So Mark Guehi was coming in a way. I don't see Konate leaving this season. I think Liverpool, financially, it's far better for Liverpool to keep Konate for a year, knowing he's going for a free at the end of the season, than selling him now for no money, really. So, once you've got that Virgil Konate partnership is world class. So why separate that for one season, especially in the year we're going to have this year, probably, with everything that's happened? Keep Konate, sort the Konate situation out the following year. Mark Guehi will come to Liverpool probably. And, I don't see a problem. Diaz will get replaced if he needs to be sold. Obviously...
I'm sorry there, Jamie. You said that about a striker. How imperative is a striker right now?
Oh, even more so than it was a week ago. I don't believe Diogo Jota was ever going to be sold by the club. I think Slot really rated him and the club love him. So I don't think he was leaving this summer. I think Darwin was always leaving. The manager's made it very clear that he doesn't rate him. I think Darwin needs a change of scenery as well. I think everything just needs to be sorted out in that area. So one striker with Diogo Jota as your backup number 9 is perfectly fine. That's a really good option. The problem for Liverpool right now, and it's not to their fault or anyone's fault, unfortunately, Diogo Jota has passed away. Leaving it, if Darwin Núñez gets sold, we literally have 0 striker. So Liverpool have to go into the market. It's going to be very difficult for Liverpool to buy 2 strikers for me, considering I don't think the striker market's that good anyway. And the number 1 striker they want is going to cost a lot of money. And then the number 2 striker, unless they can find somebody who is young on the way up
has got ability, skill, and they like a lot of, and he doesn't cost that much. Like a Luis Suarez, the Colombian striker, not the Uruguayan legend, obviously.
No.
The young Colombian striker who wouldn't cost a lot of money that they could maybe use as that backup option. I feel for the club here because it's a difficult situation that the club are in. You know, they are making sure, and you know, our club is just the classiest football club in the world anyway, but they're showing their class through this last week, and they will carry on to show their class as well. And you know, they're doing everything right at the moment. Michael Edwards cancelling Jota's contract so his family and kids get all that money without any tax is just a beautiful thing to do. He's going to pay for his their children's education till they're 21 years of age as well, which again is a beautiful thing to do. So the club are putting their priorities first at the moment, which is Jota and his family. After that, I reckon sometime next week, their priorities will change. They'll start to look at the market again for a striker and a defender. But the Konate one's a weird one because I know a lot of people are worried about the Konate. I literally wouldn't say, if it was me, I wouldn't sell him this summer because I don't think there's a need to. I think you take the hit for him, leave him for free. And because that partnership with him and Virgil is so good and we're so late on now in the summer, who you going to get into? Like Mark Gay is a good defender. I highly rate him. And if Liverpool can get him in, he will be fantastic and he will be a very good Konate. But I want Konate still at the club for one more year. So financially, the club don't really need to look at letting Konate go and, you know, let him.
No, I agree with you because I think we need, you know, that experience, especially with the likes of Frimpong and Kirkers coming in.
Yeah.
Because they'll need their experience, Konate's and Virgil's experience, you know, playing for Liverpool Football Club. I think the midfield is okay. I think, we still need a number 6. I really believe that. I'm definitely a striker. Who would you go for? You know, personally, who would you go for a striker?
Would I go for a striker, Alexander Isak? This is the way I look at it. Yeah? If you look at the striker market, there's players out there that Liverpool could have gone and got already and sorted, yeah. Because Liverpool have known, I believe, since around Christmas time that Darwin Núñez is going to leave the football club. They've always had Arne Slot basically didn't want to play him, so you could tell that Darwin was out the door. Darwin already had one foot out the door around Christmas time last year. Liverpool could have gone into the striker market very early in the summer. I know they wanted Wirtz. They were talking to Wirtz in February, which obviously is still the best transfer this summer anyone can do. But they know they need a striker. You've got people like Osherman who's got a release clause for good money. For some reason, it's not just Liverpool. No club seems to want him, which is a bit weird. I don't know what the situation is there. You got Ekitike, who I think Liverpool do like, but he's still a bit raw at the moment. You got Benjamin Sesko, I think the club like as well. But again, he splits people if he's good or not. You got Pedro's just gone to Chelsea. I don't really see him as an out-and-out striker. You obviously got the other Liam Delap, who I really rated. I think it's going to be a fabulous forward. He's gone to Chelsea as well. So a lot of the striker market is very small at the moment, and you've got players there that are up and coming, can be great. I think Ekitike and Sesko in the years to come could be tremendous strikers, yeah. But they're also got high valuations against their names. And managers and clubs at this moment in time don't know if they want to take the gamble on that price for a player that's not fully developed yet. And I look at Liverpool's situation. I think Liverpool want ready-made to go players now. That's why they've gone and got Wirtz. Wirtz is 22 years of age. Yeah, he's like the same age as Harvey Elliott. Yeah, and we rate Harvey Elliott. Well, I do anyway. But he's nowhere near Wirtz. Wirtz is the best number 10 in European football. You know, he's just out of this world. Kirkes was arguably the best left back in the Premier League last season. You got Frimpong, who I think is going to be a fantastic bit of business and a fantastic signing with his pace, crossing, shooting, and technical dribbling. I think that's going to be a great bit of business. So they want that ready-made to go player. And I think it'd be Alexander Isak. Tonight, apparently, Newcastle really want Ekitike. I know Newcastle are looking for a striker to replace Callum Wilson. But you don't go for someone like Ekitike who's going to cost you 65 to 70 million to be a backup striker. And it's not worth it for Ekitike to be a backup striker. I think there's a situation there where Liverpool are waiting. Liverpool are waiting to see the Isak situation. If they feel like they can get Isak, I believe Liverpool will buy him. And Liverpool have got the money to do it. That's not a problem. They will go and buy Isak. If they can't get Isak, I think they'll get Hugo Ekitike, who I do rate, and I think will be a good footballer in the years to come. But he's not as good as Isak is now. So they're the two options for Liverpool. And again, it's such a small market where, there's not a lot out there, and the best of the best are mostly unattainable. But I don't think Isak's unattainable. I think there's room there where you can go and buy him. But I like Osimhen as well. I'm just shocked that no top team in Europe is going for him. So there must be something there where clubs are not too sure on the guy for some reason.
I think, I'm being honest with you, I think he's more of a Balotelli mindset.
Yeah.
I watch Napoli. I watched them, and everyone thought that it was going to be a done deal, him coming here, especially with Darwin going over to Napoli. You see, but I think what you were saying there about Isak, 99% of the fan base.
Oh, that's a fine. That's a fine. How much is the fine?
It's been Joe. Hello, Pat. Go on. Pat, can I ring you later on because I'm actually doing a podcast live. Don't worry. Yeah, of course I am. All right, I'll give it a yeah, definitely. Okay, Pat. Thank you so much. Said our sweetheart. Bye-bye.
That's a fine, that is, Frank. That's a fine.
She's a lovely lady. She's when I sit by the bench, she has, tries to get some sun or fresh air. She always passing to put rubbish in the bin, and that's how I got to know her. She said, "But you know me." So, anyway. But what I was saying there about Isak, I think 99. Well, I don't think I know that 99% of the fan base, the whole Liverpool fan base, will agree with everything that you said about Isak because he is a ready-made nucleus to come into the Liverpool Football Club, and I think we will get him. And it's only what you said as well about Ekitike. I can never say his name properly, but anyway, and Newcastle, looking at him, wanting to, and as you said, he's not going to be benched, is he? To be honest, as a backup, no way. So I think that the opening's there for Alexander Isak.
I think they're waiting for him. I think that Liverpool are just waiting. The thing is, like Michael Edwards and Eddie Howe are best friends. they're really good mates. Goes back to their Portsmouth days, I believe, or something like that. With Richard Hughes as well. They're like really good friends. The fact that they're after Isak the way they are, look, I think people are naive in football sometimes. These people have been speaking, right? There have been words spoken behind the scenes that we don't know about. Liverpool believe Isak is a possibility, or they wouldn't be waiting around. It's as simple as that. They believe it's a possibility, and I think that's why they've not gone for an Osimhen or a Benjamin Sesko or any of these sort of strikers, a João Pedro or anything like that in the market, because Liverpool could have got any of them if they wanted, really, and they would have came, no problem. But I think they think there's an opportunity there they can get Alexander Isak. And look, it costs a lot of money. You're looking at 130, 140 million pound probably, which Liverpool can afford now because of the new financial thing they've invested in. So they got the money there to go and do it. If it becomes a situation where they want Isak, but they just can't get him this year, I think they turn their attentions to Hugo Ekitike, because apparently Liverpool have been talking to Ekitike quite a lot, and his agent and all that quite a lot, and his representation. So I think Isak's the main attraction, and Ekitike is in the back pocket. I think that's what it is. It'll be one of them two.
Well, Isak said, didn't he? You know, he just wants to come to Liverpool. That's what he said. He actually came out and said it. If any desire where to go, be Liverpool. Just like Vert said, you know, there's only one club I want to go to, and that's Liverpool. And
which shocks so many people.
Sort of scenario with Isak. I think I'll laugh at myself. Can I just go on about the Scottish Bear, Frank and Jamie? Big up, lads. I hope you're all well. Yes, we are. And as Lockie said, turn your mic off, Jamie. The Red Bird says, everyone can hear, you know. But it was a bit, look, everyone's going on. Living the dream. The dream. Makes a bit muff, Jamie, laugh.
It was, yes.
The whole sporting world think they did the celebration in America football, and UFC says Callum.
Yeah, they did. The Jota celebration, isn't it?
Oh, this lad, he's a Man U supporter, and he's a cracking lad. He really is. He's a brother from another mother, as we say. Because even if Frank and Legends in the chat, it's almost going to be a week, but the pain still weighs heavy in our hearts. Hope their family have found some closure after the funeral. Rip, rest in peace, Diego and Andre. Isn't that lovely? That's from. He's a lovely lad, albeit he's a Man United fan. We know we don't like. Oh, there's Stay there. Rest in peace, Diego. The most natural finisher I've seen since Robbie. We've all said that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
You know that, Jamie.
Yeah.
You know that. Oh, there's Terrell. Good evening, Reds. Missing our Diego 20. Big up, Jamie. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? I'm sorry to go right down, boys. I'm sorry. Simon says, hi, Jamie. Sorry to disagree, but I can't allow Konate to run his contract down and having another 11 months like 66 and going to Madrid on the cheap. Worried about the front line, exposed, to be honest.
I'm not too sure on the Konate thing. Look, the difference with Konate and Trent is at least Konate's come out right at the beginning and told us what he wants to do. You know, unlike Trent, who decided to lie for about 10 months and then just come out like 3 weeks before the end of the season. And then go and learn Spanish very quickly. Too convenient for my liking. Also with the Konate situation, because I've seen people talk about like why we let Konate's contract go to when it is. I have some actual understanding with the club here, because if you think about when Konate was bought, in his first season, he played Champions League games and Matip played Premier League games. In his second season, injuries were an issue and Matip still played a lot of football. In his last season, Konate actually lost his place to Gerald Kwanzaa. He got an injury and he never got his place back because Klopp kept Kwanzaa in and Kwanzaa took his spot. And then Kwanzaa obviously did that interview after the game where he said, I'm here to take people's spots. And so Konate was phased out a little bit. Slot started Kwanzaa at the beginning of this last season. So when I look at the club, I don't know if the club have felt right to give him a new deal, because if you put all that into perspective, what does he want a week? When you work it all out, is he after over 200 grand a week? As a club, I'll be like, well, if we look at what we've just gone through, the year before you lost your place to Kwanzaa, first 2 seasons you were in and out of injury, Matip was still taking your place. Like, we don't value as highly, unfortunately, as you value yourself, which is a good thing, but this is what we value at. So I don't know where I literally, if he wants Real Madrid, it literally don't matter what Liverpool offer him. Liverpool will give him 300 grand a week and he still wants Real Madrid to go Real Madrid. But with the striking situation right now, that's got to be our first choice right now, because we literally haven't got a striker when Darwin goes. And with what happened with Jota, unfortunately. So I think Liverpool's whole attention now has to look at the forward line and leave Konate in the team. You know, and look, next season Konate might play and he might sign a new deal. Who knows? But if he leaves, he leaves. I'm not. Look, I've never been a massive Konate fan, so it's not the end of my world if he leaves the football club. To be fair, and what Liverpool go get for him? 40 million with 1 year left on his deal. It's just not worth it as a football club. You know, that Liverpool will look at it and think, right, if we go back-to-back league titles, that's worth 180 million, keeping Konate with Virgil together. So what's the point in letting him get, like, we can afford to go and replace Konate next summer. That's, you know what I mean? We don't need to sell him to replace him.
No,
So,
I think you're right, but you know, again, what you said, you know, keeping Konate, and this is just my opinion, I think with the likes of Kirkes and Frimpong, no matter what, you need his experience alongside, because he does give it 100%. He always gives it 100% alongside Virgil. I think it's the experience that's needed for next season. And as you said about the priority being a striker, but we discussed that. We have discussed that. And I really think that we will get Alexander Isak. I really believe it. I really believe it from what I've been reading and things like that, you know.
if we get Isak,
go on. Sorry.
If we get if Isak is the what Liverpool have been just planning all summer, and they get Isak and they replace Diaz with a new left winger, or you have Cody Gakpo as your starting left winger. Cody Gakpo, Isak, Salah, and Wirtz in the 10 is just ridiculous. Also, Wirtz can play left wing if needed as well. There is two natural positions, so you know you got a lot of quality there. You got a lot of quality there, but again, it's going to be different. I think it's a transfer because I don't know if you noticed it, Frank. Even Newcastle media are speaking about it now. This has not been flat out rejected. There is legitimate talks because Newcastle media won't be talking about it. They know there's a thing up. I don't know if Isak. If I'm Alexander Isak and I'm 26 years of age, going on 27, and I'm playing for Newcastle, and it's no disrespect for Newcastle, so they are a big club in this country, but Liverpool is gigantic. It's a different level.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Liverpool, who, you know, under Arne Slot, the way they're built now, go try and go on that trajectory to carry on winning things. Yeah, they've got all these players. You know, Virgil signed on for another 2 years. Salah's there, Addison's there. They brought Mamardashvili in. You got Kirkes, Frimpong. You know, all these new players in there. You got McAllister's. You got all these quality footballers, and you're like, I could go there and actually win things like the league and Champions League straight away. With Newcastle, it's still go, but like I legitimately Newcastle go win the league or Premier League next season. No, it's going to be the answer to that because there's too many better clubs than them right now. That's a year wasted for him. He's now 27, going on 28. Like, where does he?
I think you're right there. I think, well, you know, if he is 27 next season, I think Liverpool will step back from it if he decides to stay another season. I think this is his last chance for a big move to a bigger club, a lot bigger club than Newcastle will ever be, if you know what I mean. What do you think of this one? Problem with strikers, Osherman off to Galatasaray, Sesko, another Nunes, Etatike, overpriced, Gonqueras, not Premier proven, Isak, injury prone. That's the problem we're facing, trying to get anyone. Like, he's a great lad, you know, honestly.
I don't think Isak's injury prone. I'm looking at Isak. I think Isak only missed 2 games last season. And before that, he had a broken toe. So that's not injury prone. Like, injury prone players are players that just pick up muscle injuries all the time. You know, a broken toe and stuff like that, I wouldn't class as injury prone. Even for the striker of his quality, I'm taking the gamble no matter what. There's not many strikers in the world than Alexander Isak, so I'll take the gamble, man.
Well, Darryl says Simon, he's answering Simon there. Isak has played 30 plus games, 2 seasons running, mate.
In the Premier League, yeah, yes.
And that's what we need, isn't it? Someone like that can play.
And what you got to remember with Isak, at Newcastle, he's number one guy, isn't he? Right? At Liverpool, he's not number one guy. No. Because you've got players like Salah and stuff like that are there, right? And that means the workload on Isak will be less than it would be at Newcastle. So,
that's a great point, though. It really is. And you know what? If he does come, it's going to take, especially with Wirtz as well, it's going to take that big load off Mo Salah. And you could see it with Mo Salah, albeit that Mo will still provide goals and he'll still provide
Mo's Mo. Yeah, Mo's Mo, ain't he? You just do what he does.
That's it. Mo's Mo, and that's the end of that, really. And
tallest.
Do you know tallest 92?
Yeah.
That legend. Legend. You must be talking about me rather than you. To be honest. Anyway, the Redbird says, Simon, Isak injury prone ? He missed 2 games because of muscle injury and 7 games because of a broken toe. People need to stop chatting about his injuries.
Yeah, that's just injuries every player sort of gets, ain't it?
Yeah.
Unless you're a freak, like Mo Salah is an absolute freak who looks like he never gets injured, touch wood. There's like Virgil, touch wood again. The only real injury he's had is that one that Pickford gave him with his knee. Where he was out for a year. Apart from that, he doesn't really pick up things. For Isak, for being a striker and, in the area battling with centre backs and, things like that, I don't think that's too bad of an injury thing, really. I really don't.
Well, that's Simon. He's spot on here, actually. Franco, Osserman reminds me of Elad's Diouf. His wages are just ridiculous, and he comes across as a destructive figure. That's what I said before to Jamie and everyone else. But I watch Serie A, as you know, and I watch Inter and I watch Napoli because they're my teams. And he's like a Balotelli. He is destructive. He really is. The players don't get on. Even the fans themselves, they don't get on.
And look, he's definitely a goal scorer. He bangs goals. That's what he does. But as you said, for everyone who's needing a striker in this market at the moment, and a person who does actually score lots of goals, he does score a lot of goals wherever he goes. The fact that no one's gone for him, as you says, tells you everything you need. Tells you everything you need to know, don't it?
Yeah, it's worrying. Because if we're in for him, and you're going, well, why hasn't anybody else gone in for him? It's like you've only got to look at Wirtz. How many teams, and I'm talking top teams.
All the top teams are in for him, yeah.
Every single one of them. And where did he come? He came here. And he can't wait. I tell you, he can't wait to put a pair of boots on. And that's Frimpong. I've seen him in a little documentary. He can't wait. He really can't wait. So, you've got the lads all raring to go. Okay, we've just lost Diogo, but no one will ever forget the number 20. No one will ever forget his name. No one. And there's going to be, I'm just made up that the likes of Liverpool Football Club has taken away the 20. No one will ever wear that shirt ever again. And it is forevermore.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be immortalised in the museum. Apparently, that's what I think I heard. I think that's where they're going to put it, go frame it up and all that. I believe the shirt and that, which would be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going to bypass a couple of things there. Steve Evans, I'm in the belief Isak wants to wear the red, and that we shall get ours. And wish this summer, lads. Gets his wish this summer. Osherman got attitude problems. Defo don't need that.
Yeah, no.
And that's
We don't sign bastards, do we?
No.
We're a family. Look, if you look at all our players, we're a family. Everyone loves each other. Everyone gets on, fights for the same cause. We don't really go and buy them kind of players. That's what Man United do. That's why Man United are in the shit they're in. You know, we don't go down that path. But I'll just read. David Ornstein's just been on Sky Sports News, and he's just been talking about Isak, and he said if the door is open for Isak, Liverpool will walk in. That's what he just said. But he's saying he don't think Newcastle want to open that door. But apparently Isak's going to go back to pre-season trading next week, and we see what happens. But I think there's the thing that Isak wants to leave and go Liverpool. But it's at the end of the day, Newcastle are his club, and if they don't want him to leave, it's going to be difficult for him to do, ain't it? So that's why I always said Liverpool are waiting for the next 2 or 3 weeks. If Isak don't happen in the next 3 weeks, I think Liverpool will just move on to Ekatike to get their striker in and move on from there, and a possible Rodrigo or something like that.
I tell you what, though, Jamie, you're spot on about everything there, because what I don't want potential. Not for this season. I just don't want potential. I want an already made player that's hit the ground running in the Premiership. And Isak fills the bill perfectly, in my opinion. He just, everyone's opinion, to be honest, except Simon. But anyway, the Scottish Bear says, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you, Bear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you've just hit 1K, ain't you? So big up.
Yeah, look at this. Toscana, she says, glad it's just not me that isn't keen on Konate. I think Virgil makes him look good. What have you got to say about that?
I have arguments with my friends all the time about Konate. I go on it that Virgil can make anyone. Look, I could play next to Virgil and I can keep a clean sheet probably, because it's Virgil van Dijk, man. He's just that guy, right? He's a unicorn of defenders, right? I do believe the partnership of Virgil and Konate is world class, yeah. But if I take them away individually, Virgil van Dijk's world class. I don't believe Konate's world class, but together they make a world class team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
I think Konate sometimes struggles with without leadership next to him. You know, that's why I think that's why Liverpool are looking at Mark Gahey, because Mark Gahey he's a captain of Crystal Palace, he's a leader. I think he's England's best centre back. You know, and if he came in and played with Konate, I think Konate would still look really good, because he's got that leader confidence next to him. If you're playing Joe Gomez and Konate together, it's like, who's the guy here? Who's the one in charge? Who's the captain? Who's the leader? You know, because it's centre back partnerships. You've always got the leader, the calm one, and you've always got the aggressive one. It's like Ramos and Varane for Real Madrid. Yeah, Sergio Ramos and Varane. When Sergio Ramos didn't play and Varane was playing with someone else, Varane looked terrible. But Varane's not a terrible defender. He's a quality centre back, yeah. But it just shows you the power of what a partnership can make you look like. If you look at Arsenal last season, Saliba without Gabriel don't look as good. But you put Gabriel next to Saliba looks like a unicorn again. And I feel like that with Konate. I think Konate's a fantastic defender, a fantastic footballer who's going to probably go to Real Madrid and have a great career and win World Cups and all that and be one of the best centre-backs in the world in the years to come. But
great captain.
I just don't think he's got them other qualities sometimes that lets him a little bit down. I think he's a bit hot-headed sometimes. He's a bit of a bozo at times as well. Sometimes he will go running after a defender instead of just holding his position and things like that. You know, so again, quality centre-back. Him and Virgil together are a world-class partnership. But I do think Konate is replaceable. And I believe so does the football club. Because the football club gave Virgil 350 grand a week because they know he's irreplaceable. No one can replace him. Keep the guy. Don't care how old he is. Yeah? Keep him. Look, Virgil's 33, but he plays like a 28-year-old, don't he? You know what I'm saying? So, not a problem. Unicorn. Konate.
I'm sorry there to butt in, but do you think that with Konate, there for next season, and this Gay is it?
Gaya.
Yeah, Gaya. Do you think that they're bringing him in for Konate, if you know it? Because he will play, Gaya will play.
Yeah.
During the season, he's bound to play.
I think on paper, Mark Gay is Kwanzaa's replacement. I think we go for him. I know Newcastle are looking at him as well, to be fair. But if Liverpool get Mark Gay, they probably see him as Kwanzaa's replacement and a third choice centre back, right? But I believe they also believe he can compete with Konate for that partnership with Virgil van Dijk. So next season he will then be Konate's replacement, and then we go and buy a young centre back who will be third or fourth choice and move on from there. So yeah, if Liverpool end up this summer with our centre back options as Virgil, Konate, Mark Gay, and Joe Gomez, I'm perfectly happy with that. Perfectly happy
with that. I'm glad you mentioned Joe there, because that fella never gives us problems. He never asks for anything.
I love him, man.
Yeah. Do you think that we're going to keep him, or do you think that we could sell him?
I don't think Joe wants to leave. Do you know what I love about Joe Gomez? He's been here 10 years now, right? And he's a very good player. I think the only thing that's ever stopped Joe Gomez is his injury record.
Yeah.
If injuries weren't a factor, Joe Gomez will probably be, him and Virgil will probably be the centre-back partnership if he never had injury issues.
That was the beginning of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they were great together. They never conceded any goals. They were tremendous. Joe Gomez at his best, I believe, is England's best defender. But unfortunately, injuries has played a part. And I think Joe Gomez is an intelligent guy and knows his limitations in football right now because of injuries. And he's probably feeling like being third choice centre back at Liverpool right now is probably better than being first choice at a Bournemouth or a West Ham. Do you know what I mean? And he probably feels like that. And the club's the club. He loves the club. He's been there 10 years. As he says, his kids are all Scouts because they've all been born in Liverpool. So, he's a Liverpudlian, not by birth, but by being there. So I don't see him going anywhere. Liverpool don't want to let him go. Because he's versatile as well. Anything happens, he can play right back, left back, centre back. Why would you get rid of that kind of player? You need players like that in your club.
I've always said that he can play right across the back four, any position.
Very good footballer.
And that's what we. I remember Spurs going. You must have remembered as well. Spurs going for him last season.
Yeah, we told him about the
I was glad that he didn't go because, as you're saying about his versatility. And he's very versatile, as Joe, and I'm made up because he's the quiet man, isn't he? Really, he never disrupts nothing. He never says, "I'm going to knock on the manager's door" or whatever. He just carries on. If he plays great one game and he gets dropped,
he understands. Yeah, he understands. I think a lot of players today, when you're building a squad, you need players like a Joe Gomez in your squad. That they're the kind of players you need. You need them reliable Eddies to come into your team and go, right, so-and-so is not available today, but I've got Joe Gomez. He's available. He can play left back, right back, centre back. I'm perfectly happy with that. If I'm the manager, I'm like, I'm so glad I've got Joe Gomez in my locker room because, so-and-so is not available. I've got Joe Gomez to step up. Who I know is going to give me a 7 out of 10 every game if he plays. Do you know what I mean? He's a 7 out of 10 player every single week, right? And he's not a regular starter. They're the kind of players you need in your squads. Yep. Then versatile 7 out of 10s every week kind of footballers and they know their place. He knows where he is in the pecking order and he's perfectly happy with that. He enjoys his life.
And he is happy about it. That's why I think everybody's got great respect for Joe.
Yeah.
I really do. I really believe that. They've got great respect for Joe Gomez. And as you said, he's been here for 10 years and he's still only in his
28, isn't he? Yeah, it's 28.
28, there you go. I've got a couple of questions here. You're going to answer them. Right, our Scottish Bear says, Isak. Isak, Liverpool. Yes, that's what he wants.
Yeah,
And there's one for you, Jamie. I'd like to keep Chiesa for another season and see what he can do, says Freedom of Jamie.
Right. if this was the Chiesa of 3 years ago, yeah, you're looking at one of the best wingers in world football at the time. All right, like 3 or 4 years ago, Chiesa was the most highly wanted wide player in European football. Injuries have really messed him up. There's no doubt about that. Technical ability is all there with Chiesa. He's always got it. The problem is he doesn't look like he's got the stamina when he plays in the Premier League. He looks like he gets beaten up too easy. He doesn't look like he can run. But when you put him in Italy, because like you, I watch a lot of Italian football as well. I did a lot of Italian watch-alongs last season. And when you watch him in Italy and things like that, because it's a slower-paced game, he's more effective.
Yeah.
Because the game is slower paced, it's a bit more of a chess game. We make your move, you make your move sort of scenario. And he can look more effective in that way. In the Premier League, where it's the quickest league in the world. It's end to end in seconds, and it's more aggressive, and he just looks a bit lost at times. Technical ability wise, technically he's one of your best forwards actually, but on the face of, I think he's struggling stamina wise in the Premier League. And I think Slot came out last season and says he can't complete training sessions. So and obviously Slot and his team are training the players at such a high level because of what they're competing in. If he can't complete training sessions, how can he be picked?
Well, okay. Now, this time last season, like even all the lads on here who's been following me, they'll say, yeah, you're right. Now, here's what I said. When we went after them, you know, I've always said that I was an appeasement signer. Was Chiesa, because everyone was buying, we weren't, and people were saying, why aren't we buying? Well, whatever it was. And when it said about Chiesa, I'm sorry, when it came out that we were in for him, I said, if we sign him, you won't see many games coming from him. And I was vindicated. I was proved absolutely 100% right.
Yeah, you're proved right, man. You're proved right. I mean, he's not. He can't do what Luis Diaz does. He's not Mo Salah. So where does he play? You know, as much as I like Chiesa, I think we've all got a soft spot for Chiesa because we know how good he used to be, right? And he's still in his 20s, and you're hoping that can come back. I just don't foresee it. I think it'd be best for Chiesa just go back to Italy. I think, I don't know what it is. I think some Italians just don't work in English football, unfortunately. Some do. But there's a lot of Italian players that have come over that just don't seem to work in our game because of the way they're brought up.
And you can count them on one hand, the likes of Franco Zola, for example.
Yeah, but Zola didn't Zola come to England in his 30s, like towards the end of his career, didn't he?
Gianluca Vialli.
Yeah, Vialli.
You know,
there's not a lot. Yeah, there's not a lot.
Just a few, unfortunately, you know. And
it's the way you're brought up. Italian football is so much different to everything else. It really is.
There's a lovely question for you, Jamie. Right. I'm not going to answer this. The Scottish Bear. Question for Frank and Jamie. Isak or Ekatike and Rodrigo, 2 for the price of 1. That's a conundrum to me, though.
If you ask the club, I think the club just get Isak. I really do.
Yeah.
Look, Darwin Núñez and Diaz look like they're going to be leaving the football club, but Liverpool want a certain amount of money for them that haven't been paid yet. If Liverpool get the money they think they can get for Darwin, or just a bit under, you're looking at around 130 million for both of them players, Darwin and Luis Diaz, yeah? Liverpool can just take that 130 million to Newcastle and just put it on the table, right, for Alexander Isak and go, your move. As soon as Liverpool do that, by the way, Isak is going to kick off because he'll want to go. right? I don't like these dirty tactics in football. I really don't. But I've come to knowing now acknowledge that it's just the way life is in football now, that you've got to be these dirty bastards. This is just the way you have to play dirty. I don't like it when Real Madrid do it to us and stuff like that. It pisses me off. But I think in the way football is today, unfortunately, this is the way you have to do business, ain't it? And if Liverpool get that 130 million combined from them two players and they go to Newcastle and just whack 130 million on the table, which breaks every record, in British football history, and is I think the third highest transfer of all time. One, it's going to be extremely hard for Newcastle to reject it. And two, how does Alexander Isak not go, whoa. There's a chance for me to go. That's a lot of money for me. Please take it. I think that could be the case. If they don't get Isak and they know, and Newcastle going, look, don't worry, don't even offer us 200 million. We're telling you right now, it's not for sale, right? It's not happening. I think Liverpool could go down the Ekatike and Rodrigo route, personally. But also,
Daryl says, Frank, talk about Diaz. Can't believe him get him gone ASAP. Now, I was going to ask you about Diaz. Do you think that's it with him? With what he did in Colombia?
Is this the party situation? So
yeah. And talking to other clubs, and this is on the day that Diogo was being buried.
The problem is the pictures and videos came out the same day. Does that mean it acted on the same day? That's what I believe.
Good point.
I believe he was at a wedding, yeah, and then he had a meet up already scheduled while he was on holiday in Colombia. Now, getting back, Allison and a few others couldn't get to the funeral because where they were in the world, yeah. Don't matter how rich you are, yeah. If there's thousands of miles of ocean in between you, it's very difficult to get home till planes are available or whatnot. And we all grieve in different ways. We've got to remember this as well. We all do grieve in different ways. Now, if all that happened on the day, because it's a nighttime thing. If that all happened on the day of Jota passed away, but he didn't know about it because he was out of any kind of messaging or anything like that, and he's doing what he's doing, and he didn't know, but people are still taking pictures, put it out there, and then they put it out there on the day of the funeral to make it look 100 times worse. I'm not. We don't know. We don't know. We're only speculating.
I think he's going to come up with a statement himself.
I would say grieving is weird, man. I've never seen my dad cry, ever. Never seen my dad cry, right? If anything happened to my mum, I really don't think he'd cry, but I think he would just. It's like he'd get on with life as normal, yeah.
But
I know he's broken up. He's a broken man, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But he will get on. He'll probably go to work the next day or something like that. And people were like, "What are you doing here?" But he's a broken man. But he's grieving in his own way. Diaz might have just been grieving in his own way. I don't know. I don't know if that party was the same day as the funeral. That party could have been happening the same day as the tragic event, and he never knew about it. And then it don't look good. I don't know unless we get proof.
No one knows. No one knows.
It's hard to have a go about it.
Don't forget as well, Jamie. You're a Liverpool supporter. You've been a Liverpool supporter since you were a little mad kid running around in the streets. Now, all the spin against Liverpool. There's been loads of spin about players, about everything. And, what you're saying there could be a massive spin. Oh, let's get these pictures out. This could have been from a couple of days before. You never know. And this is why I said, I think Lewis, I didn't want him to go, to be honest. Because I think he's a great player. I think he's a great asset for Liverpool Football Club. But having said that, I think he's got to come out with a statement himself.
Yeah, just say, look, that party weren't when you thought it was so and so, and I've just been done over a little bit, and because a lot of people were upset about it because Diogo was one of the first Liverpool players to stick up and show his love to Diaz when his father got kidnapped, wasn't he? And did the celebration and all that with the Diaz T-shirt. So that's why a lot of people have. So it's not a good look.
Yeah.
But the thing with social media, there's no context, guys. This is the issue. There's no context. And the thing that was a nighttime party. That was a nighttime party. It was in the evening, in Colombia. Right, and the funeral was obviously in the morning, late morning.
Don't forget that, there's a
time difference. The time difference is
massive time difference.
Exactly.
And I think the Scottish Bear sums everything up. It's only what I said as well about the spin that people give to Liverpool Football Club and the fans. And the Bear says, Darryl, don't believe everything you read, my friend. I think that sums up everything lovely about Diaz.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, what's this, Jamie? Apart from Isak, who would you honestly expect to come in before the transfer window? And I'd love to your opinions. Thanks. I think Liverpool get, if it's not Isak, I think it'd be Ekitike. And they've done a lot of talk on Mark Gay so far, so I expect a centre-back. A centre-back will come in because we've only got 3 there at the moment. So a centre-back and a striker be at the end of our summer window. So say this is the window we have, yeah? Ekitike is the striker because that thing can't happen. Mark Gay is the third option centre-back. Frimpong, Kirkes and Wirtz. That's a hell of a summer to go with the players that we already got at the club as well. That, for me, I don't know about you, Frank, our team is better this season than it was last season. So, yeah, and then next summer you go and get maybe another DM and another centre back because Konate leaves.
I'd love another DM, to be honest, Jamie. I really would, and I think that'll solidify. If we got a DM in, and we got that Isak in, for example.
Yeah,
I think Liverpool will be phenomenal.
I don't think anyone
will beat it. I really don't.
I don't think. I just don't think Liverpool want a DM. I think they believe in Brian Gravenberch. I think Slot feels like he's had one season at it and he did well. Second season is going to be even better. I also think we're going to play a little bit differently next season. Where because Kirkes and Frimpong are so attack-minded fullbacks, we're going to use their abilities to their best. I can see Gravenberch. He did it towards the end of last season where Gravenberch started to drop back in between the 2 centre-backs to make 3 at the back. And then your full-backs are on the halfway line. And then Wirtz in the 10. And then McAllister and Wirtz in that midfield area. And then your front 3 are more narrow. So one drops in. I think that's how Liverpool will look to play next season. I can see a lot of thing where Gravenberch is sitting back a little bit more, dropping in between the centre-backs, allowing Frimpong or Conor Bradley, if he plays, and Kirkes to sit on the halfway line to attack, because we've got 2 options. If Conor Bradley wants to play Conor Bradley and Robbo for a game, you go back to a traditional 4 and they're normal defence-minded attacking right full-backs, and you go back to your 4 and you change the midfield around a little bit. If you want to be a bit more attacking, a bit more like against low blocks that ain't going to give you too much trouble in a counter-attack, you play Gravenberch in that third centre-back role, not like in-game, not on paper, just in-game, where he drops back. Kirkes and Frimpong playing the halfway lines. And then you got your midfielders of McAllister and Wirtz and Salah, the new striker, whoever it is, maybe Ekitike and Cody Gakpo, then tuck in. And that's how you go against lower blocks. And then against the bigger teams, you go a little bit more rigid. So it gives you flexibility. So that way, Slot's got more flexibility next season where he can play 2 different systems against 2 different scenarios. I think that's why we've gone for players like Kirkes and Frimpong. I think it's a really bright move and go show a lot next season.
Absolutely. I've just got to answer this. It's from Lee Brady, the Liverpool vlogs there. Glad you enjoyed the video, Frank. You and Francine of Jota's moral war. Do you know what? I was made of. I couldn't. I made. I got up there, to lay that shirt, for the whole of our little family, and I couldn't walk, Jamie. It killed me, honestly.
Yeah.
And even though I had my walking stick and that, and anyway, the vlogs knew how bad it was, and he went over to the wall, and he put up, my name, Francine's name, Carlyle family. You'll never walk alone, Diogo, on the brick, which was, our Francine she was in bits when she read that. I said it over it. I said, look what one of the lads have done. I was in bits myself, to be honest.
Yeah. The Jota things, I think it's it's hurt a lot of Liverpool. It's not hurt a lot of us. I mean, I don't know how the players are going to react. What I will say, though, because apparently this friendly with Preston is going ahead on Sunday now, ain't it? What that tells me is that the players and the manager have had a meeting, and they've left it up to the players, and they're like, if you don't want to do it, we won't do it. It's as simple as that. Wherever your heads are now, guys, and what you want to do, just let us know. We'll protect you. Whatever you want to do, we're going to follow you. And I think the players are going, you know what? No, we're going to show Jota all the love, and we're going to play everything. We're going to go. I think the players are going to go out there and try and win everything next season for Jota, personally.
I believe that myself. I really believe that, because they're going to say, listen, we're going to do this for Diogo. We're going to do it for Diogo, his lovely wife, his 3 kids, his brother and his parents. We're going to do this. Now let's do it. Let's go out, lads, and let's win as much as we can. And I really believe that. And my old mate Steve says, the one I saw today is that if Diaz goes, that we will be in for. I'd love this. Should have heard me last season.
Kvaratskhelia.
And he can never say his name. But anyway, Kvaratskhelia, whatever his bloody name is.
Just
I
go
love him.
Creva. Just going Creva.
I love him, honestly. And here I will personally say, for superior football to our mercurial Colombian young striker, see Dan's getting game time this season. What do you reckon about Dan's anyway?
I think Dan's will get pre-season and then he'll go on loan. Because his loan last year, he had injury all year, didn't he? So he didn't play. I don't think Liverpool are in a position where Dan's can be a squad member right now. Liverpool are defending Premier League champions. Liverpool got to do it. Liverpool got to attack this transfer market and try and carry on as much as they can and defend their Premier League title. And I like Jayden Dance. I think there's potential there. But he's had limited minutes as a Liverpool player anyway in the first team. It's very hard to go to him, right, you're second or third choice next season. Yes. He needs to play. If he had a very good loan spell last year, and he was absolutely phenomenal, yeah? A bit like Conor Bradley. When Conor Bradley went to Bolton and he won League One Player of the Year and stuff like that, and then all the teams were after him and saying, like, we want him, and Liverpool were like, no, we believe this kid's special, and now he's like Liverpool's number 1 right back. I think that's a bit similar with Jayden Dance. I think the club rate Jayden Dance highly, but he needs game time, so he needs to go on loan. If he went on loan, if he's loaned to Middlesbrough last year and he never got injured, and he, as I said, smashed it, then I can understand Steve's point there. He gets game time next season. But yeah, I think he needs to go on loan. He needs to go on loan.
I like Downs, and it was unfortunate that he did get injured. Anyway, I haven't said that, but young Doug, no,
I think
he could have done as well.
Yeah, I think the fact that Liverpool are willing to listen to offers for Ben Doak, I think, tells you everything. If Liverpool can get 30 million for Ben Doak, by the way, that's a heck of a Liverpool going back to getting good money for players again, which I like. 30 to 35 million for Kwanzaa, good bit of business. they
And
get
Kelleher,
25.
don't forget Kelleher as
Yeah,
well.
I mean Kelleher as well. If Ben Doak goes between 25 and 30, which could happen, that's good business again. You know, sending players that you don't feel like will ever get into your first team or strengthen your first team, and you're selling them for profit, you can then go and attack the transfer market and get the players that you actually want in. And that's what Man City and Chelsea have been doing for years. They sell underneath. You know, it's not their first team players they sell underneath. They make full profit off youngsters, and then they go and buy in the market to improve their side. So I think that's what Liverpool are looking to do.
You know, you're saying about Chelsea selling underneath and Man City. Just imagine Cole Palmer, you know, going to Chelsea from City.
Yeah, was it 30 million?
Yeah.
Was it 30 million? Probably rated around 120 now. So it's what they do, you know. Like, I think City, though, in recent years have sold a bit wrong. I think they've sold players they shouldn't have sold, and it's coming to show now. I actually think City will struggle next season. I don't think City are back like people think they are. I think they're struggling.
Let's hope for that.
I think they're struggling. I think they're still a bit soft. I think you can still get them. I think with Man City now, I don't think teams are scared of them like they used to be.
No.
And I think teams are now willing to have a go at Man City. And I think that'll be the same case next year.
Do you know what? I'm sorry, Dad, but you know what? It's only what you're saying. A couple of years ago, a couple of seasons ago, I always remember Phil Neville, and he was on Match of the Day or something. And he said, teams today give too much respect to Manchester City. All I'd like to see is teams have a go at them.
That's my head in. And last year they did.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this next season they will as well. I don't think there's anything at Man City that particularly frightens teams at the moment. I think they've got good players. I think Shirky's a good player. Obviously, Haaland's a quality player. Their wide players are good, but they're not really goal-scoring wide players, are they?
No.
So I think teams will look at it and think, you know, yeah, they've got good players, but you know what? We're back ourselves. Let's have a go. I think they will next season as well. I literally think it's going to be between Liverpool and Arsenal next season for the title.
Well, yeah, there's a good point here by Christopher, and I want to go on to the Redbird as well right after it. Newcastle was going to sell Isak last year because of PSR. Isak may remember that and want a move. How about that then?
That's true, isn't it? They tried to flip Anthony Gordon and Isak last year, didn't they? And they could remember it, man. I mean, I think it's going to be hard for Newcastle to keep Isak. I really do.
Well, the Redbird says Konate has been a bozo gene. He annoys me and he jumps on plays.
No, again, I do agree. I think people get it when people. Konate has got a lot of love in the Liverpool fan base, which I understand. But when you talk about Konate, people think like you hate him or you don't think he's quality. I believe he's a quality centre back. I just don't think he's a world class centre back at the moment. He's got the potential of being a year or two, no doubt about it. But I do think he's replaceable. You know, that's all, and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, Simon said, Van Dijk likes Ato. Do you think there is a chance he could come in and give him 2 years to learn from Van Dijk and potentially Guy and Ato partnership in 2 years? Would love Luca B. Oh, blimey.
Lukaber.
Yeah, thank you.
Lukaber's a bit pricey. He's good, but he's a bit pricey. The Hato one's interesting. It looks like Hato might not be leaving Ajax this year. Remember, Hato is only 18 years of age.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to leave Ajax yet. I think it would be best for Hato to stay at Ajax for another year. I think there is a chance Liverpool go for him next summer. I think unless someone comes in for him this summer, but we're in July now and I've not seen Hato's name linked really heavily with anyone leaving. So I think he stays at Ajax and then Liverpool go for him next summer. I think Liverpool got a lot of interest in Hato because he's versatile. The thing is, I don't know if Hato's a great centre-back, but I think he's a very good left-back. But we just bought Kirkhead. So it's one to watch. It's one to watch with Hato, definitely.
Well, our brother from another mother, who's a Man United fan, very respectful, this lad as well. He says, Jamie, spot on that. Not only do we sign bastards, our academy produces bastards. And Rashford, Gamacho, Lindegaard, players who are focused on themselves instead of the team. Then again, look at our ownership.
Yeah. It's a
there
mess.
You go. And he's a big Man United fan.
It's a mess over in Manchester at the moment. Look, they can't even buy players right now. They've only got Cunha through the door. You know, players. Do you know? If I was a Man United fan, it is the 9th of July. Pre-season is upon us, and the only player you got through the door is Cunha. When your whole team is terrible, they need like 8 players. The longer this goes on, the better, because they're going to struggle next year, man.
Yeah. As the Scottish best is Gomez ain't going anywhere. We need him for his homegrown and, we do, homegrown as well. And his versatility, ability.
Yeah, definitely, man. I love Joey G. Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
Damn right.
So we all love
Real Madrid are getting absolutely destroyed at the moment, by the way.
Who?
Real Madrid.
Who?
It's only PSG. There's only 12 minutes gone. It's already 2-0.
Go away.
Yeah.
PSG.
Yeah, PSG are the best team in the world at the moment.
Is Kvaratskhelia playing?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, Kraver's playing, yeah.
He should have been with us. I wanted him last summer. We could have had him in the winter.
Yeah, he's the best left winger in the world at the moment.
You know what? I was screaming and everything at the in the January. And do you know what James Pearce said? He was an unknown quantity, Kvaratskhelia. He was an unknown quantity.
What does that mean? How can it be unknown?
Oh, Jamie is
thing with James Pearce, James Pearce.
Quantity. I said, well, he should have fucking asked me. I watched him for 2 years.
He's terrible. He's terrible at his job. There's no doubt about it. Awful journalist.
Simon says, I'm not concerned who Diaz goes to. Preference would be Barca, as I would say to them, Cash and Mark Cascado. Brilliant. Number 6 in the making. 20 years old, up-and-coming Spanish international. Brilliant talent, says Simon.
I think Liverpool are pretty much done buying the up-and-coming talent in certain positions now. I think Liverpool will go young for centre-backs because they've got time to bed in more than... Like, if Liverpool want a midfielder like a DM, I think they go with experience straight off the bat because it's such an important position. Why you still got Virgil and stuff like that there, Liverpool can afford to get a younger player with potential because he doesn't need to play it right away. I think with the forward line and the midfielders, I think Liverpool need... like Frimpong and Kirkers, yeah, they're young, but they're not potential. They're ready-made. They're ready to go, ain't they? You know what I'm saying? Like, Wirtz is 22 himself, but he's the best number 10 in Europe. So he's ready to go. I think that's where Liverpool are looking. That's the Liverpool market right now. So if Liverpool want a DM, I would assume they'll be looking around for high-end level defensive midfielders. But in the centre-back areas, what Simon's there saying might be right, go for like Hato, 18, 19 next year. Doesn't need to play straight away. Promising, can work his way up. That's where you might look at it. But personally, that's what I'm thinking of. And apart from the forward line, the only thing with the striker, apart from Osherman and Isak, everyone else is potential, ain't they, really? You know, that's the but that's the market. There's no. That's the market we're in at the moment. You know, so yeah, interesting, but great comment, Simon.
Well, do you know, out of everybody, you know, we've been speaking about players, you know, Joe Gomez, for example, you know, staying. Who's the most important French player that should stay? I know what you're going to say. I think it's Harvey Elliott.
No, it's that guy. It's
Mataro. You love Endo, don't you?
I love Endo, man. He's the best closer in football, man. When Endo comes on, I know the game's over. Do you know what? When it's the 70th minute and Endo's coming on, I'm like this, Frank. I know the game's done. It's over. You know, I'm cozy, I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm ordering my dinner. It's good. The game's done. Like that guy can't go anywhere, man. I like Endo, man. I think Endo is a lot better than people realise as well.
Well, that's what I said about the number 6. You know, if we don't get a number 6, he's there, isn't he?
Yeah, he got Graham Birch and Endo. I'm happy with that. I know you got Stefan Bajcetic as well, but Stefan's got a fucking hamstring injury again, and he's probably
you know, we talk about injury-prone players.
That's the biggest one.
He is. He's terribly injury-prone.
So, no, Endo's Endo's my guy, man, and I think he's got a lot to give to the team. And he did that interview lately, didn't he, where he said, I don't want to leave and I know my place. I'm quite happy with it. I think, like Simicast said it as well. Simicast said, playing for Liverpool is like playing on Broadway. It's better for me playing. I'd rather play 27 games here than 50 games elsewhere.
Living the dream says, valuation ballpark offer isn't disrespectful.
Who's that for?
Could be for anyone we've been.
Yeah, it could be. Is that good? 130.
Yeah, I think it is actually. And as you said before, we can afford them. We really can.
We got that. We didn't spend last summer. The money's there. We got shitloads of money, and Liverpool. I don't know if you know about it, but Liverpool, what FSG did apparently, they invested into a fund system where they put cash into it and they can go into that fund system anytime they like. And apparently there's like £350 million sitting there. So there's money for Liverpool. And where Liverpool are projected, I don't know if you guys know this, but by 2030, Liverpool are projected to make more revenue than Real Madrid for the first time in their history by 2030. Because their projections are just going up and up and up. So Liverpool make £100 million now a year through Anfield's because of the redevelopment and all that. We ain't got to worry about the loan now because otherwise it's been paid back. So Anfield's done. So our projected income for the next few years is just going that way. So our revenue's going to get higher and higher and higher. If we're constantly involved with Premier League and Champions Leagues, you know, we're going to constantly get hundreds of millions every single year from that. Yeah, Liverpool's projection is just going up. Look, Liverpool will always be a sustainable club under FSG. It's just the way they work, yeah. But Liverpool's sustainability will be higher than it used to be. So a £250 million summer, £300 million summer could still be classed as sustainable just because of the money Liverpool make now. But they're spending shitloads of money, but it's still sustainable because of the way they work. And I've always said, I don't mind sustainability because it's how clubs I feel like should be run because, you know, you've got everything level playing field, but you're still buying quality players. If you can be sustainable and still play players of the likes of Florian Wirtz and give Mo Salah 400 grand a week and Virgil 350 grand a week, then we're all happy, ain't we?
I was going to say to you at the beginning, actually, and it went out of my mind. And it's when we were talking about Wirtz, you know, and I said, I was going to say, I'm sorry, do you think finally, and I mean this, by the way, finally, John Henry's seen what potential it has got, and that's why he's investing. Yeah. He's never invested like this in his tenure.
I think it was the parade. I think he was in getting pissed up at the parade, Frank. That's what it was. Because he was on the bus, wasn't he, chugging beers down, and his wife was going around the team and all that, and hugging and cuddling. I think he was on that. He was on that parade, and he was like, I want to do this every year. I literally want to do this every year. How do I do this every year? Right.
Exactly.
And I think what
as well.
Yeah, and I think what he's done as well, he's just got he's employed the people that he trusts the most to do the work. So you got Michael Edwards, Billy Hogan, and Richard Hughes. He trusts them three to basically run the football club, and he's letting them run the football club. They got Arnold Slot in, and I think it's the best coach available, and it looks like Arnold Slot could be that guy. And I think they're just now letting them run, and they're seeing like when players are there, because to Vert still, I didn't know this till we bought him. We're talking to Vert since February, and it only came up when we signed him that we wanted him.
Did you think we'd get him when we were talking to him in January?
Well, I did a live video. So I was doing a live video talking about another transfer or something like that. And then someone put into my live chat that, have you seen the Verts news? I went, what Vert? Well, he's going to Man City, ain't he? I just had in my head that he was going to Man City because it looked like Man City were after him for about a year. And then it was the Bayern Munich. I was like, he's German, Bayern Munich, Man City. It's got to be one of them two. And then I think Christian Volk put up an article that his parents actually flew out to England to actually meet Liverpool, not Manchester City. And it came out while I was live, and we started talking about it, and then we started looking into it. And then everyone's going, "Now, what's going on? What's going on?" We're all getting excited. And the next day, I see Manchester City content creators on YouTube. They're doing videos going, "Now, this Liverpool stuff balls. He didn't come out to see Liverpool. He went out to see Man City and Pep and have a talk. He's going to come. Don't worry about it. Liverpool ain't going to pay that for him." Yeah. And then like a week later, like, nah. Florian Wirtz legitimately went to England to talk to Liverpool, no one else. He fell in love with Liverpool straight away. He had that conversation. I don't know what Arnold Slot said on the phone to him, by the way. I'd love to know what Slot said to him. But as soon as he spoke to Slot, he went, "No, that's it. Don't worry about anyone else." And everyone's now like, I can't believe it. How the hell have Liverpool? It's because when Liverpool do see a market opportunity for a player, no matter the price, they will try their best to go for it. Like Virgil, Alisson, the proof's in the pudding there, but because they haven't done it for years now, they took so long off. I've always said it. FSG and Liverpool under FSG, when the start of Klopp's reign, were the best run football club in the world for me. Everything was legitimately behind the scenes, the manager, everything together was beautiful. It was one beautiful puzzle. And then for me, I always said that FSG got lazy and expected Klopp to do everything. They thought, right, Klopp can be sporting director, manager, coach, and we'll just let Jurgen do everything because we want to keep Jurgen and keep Jurgen happy. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not the way football's run today. Everyone's got their roles, don't they? The manager, you really want your manager to just be coaching on the team, on the training pitch, systems, formations, everything like that, talking to players. And then you want your sporting director to do your sporting director bit, your CEO to do your CEO. You want everyone to do everything. And it looks like Liverpool have gone back to how they used to run 2018, 2019 seasons and all that sort of thing. So hopefully they don't go back into laziness. Hopefully, Slot doesn't, if Slot kicks off like we all hope he does, and I think he can, and go and win another Premier League or European Cup, and they go, hopefully they go back to their laziness and go, Slot can do everything, we'll just give it to him again. Just keep everyone in their...
I want a Champions League.
Yeah, keep everyone in their positions. Let everyone do their jobs. It's 3-0 now, by the way. 3-0 now.
But anyway, Toscana says, I think Chiesa will have to go back to Italy if he wants to stand a chance of playing for the Azzurri.
Yeah.
New manager Gattuso has already said, he has. He's actually said it.
Yeah, that's why you leave. It's World Cup year, ain't it? It's World Cup year.
Yeah.
It's World Cup year. Players want to play. So, yeah, Chiesa will leave.
And Gattuso, I was watching the Gazzetto on Raiuno, and he was saying the likes of Chiesa, he has to play football if he wants to play for me. That's what he said. At least a year new Italy.
No, he does. It's World Cup year. It could be Chiesa's last World Cup. I know he's in his late. He's like 27, 28, but who knows what shape Chiesa's going to be in 4 years. So he'll wanna play in that. Yeah.
Well, the Scottish Bear says, I can see Liverpool duping everyone and ends up with Julian Alvarez.
Well, that's my number one pick right there. Always has been.
There you go. How about that? great comments, from these lads. Every single one. The party that Diaz was at was 2024 media witch hunt against Diaz.
Well, there you go. See,
and
that's the issue.
I know the Bear, he speaks a lot of common sense, and he doesn't put any phony things up.
That's the issue, Frank.
I mean?
When with social media, you don't need to put context up, do you? That's the thing. You can just put a picture up that someone knew, thought, oh, it's clever. Let me put this picture up on the day of Jota's funeral.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's just.
I just hope Lewis comes out with the statement.
Yeah, he just needs to come out and go, oh, all this is bullshit, or like, what are we doing here?
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And Simon says to the Scottish, Alvaro's got a ridiculous release clause, and his wife is happy in Spain, as he is as well. Good opinion, but Atletico aren't going to sell.
The thing with his wife, right? We're not buying his wife, right?
No.
Wife can stay in Spain. Yeah, I'm not being horrible here,
No.
but you know what I'm saying? Like so Harry Kill plays Harry Kill plays at Bayern Munich, and he's second or third season at Bayern Munich, His wife and kids still live in London, right? Because they don't want to move out of Germany. But Harry's making so much money over there, they don't care. Like, she's getting 400 grand a week from Harry. Like, family's good and all that. He's going over there for a few years, making a shitload of money. Yeah, come home, much richer, much healthier. So I think if she wants to live in Spain, man. They're rich enough that they can go back whenever they like and see each other and stuff like that. It's like,
that was the funniest thing of it all season.
Yeah, I just get so annoyed. I just get so annoyed with all this stuff, you know what I mean? It's just, the wife don't like it here. Good. Don't want her. I'm buying her husband. Do you know what I mean?
Like a mail order bride. Brilliant. Adama Donna, the party edition. Forever our number 20. Absolutely. And go win the league in honour of Diago. Absolutely.
I think that's what they're going to try and do. You know, I think every 20 minutes next season, though, especially at Anfield, I would assume the fans will sing Diogo's song every 20 minutes. On the 20-minute mark, especially on the opening game of the season, that Friday night football against Bournemouth at home, that's going to be a very emotional game. Very emotional.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. It's going to be great, though. I think it's going to be televised live, isn't it? This Preston game.
Preston game Sunday on ITV, ain't it? Channel 3.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that'd be an emotional game. They'll pay their tribute.
And Callum says Batatic is back. He's back
where? In bed, hospital, game.
Physio's room.
No, I'm done with Stefan, man. I'm done. I just not even rate him.
No, yeah, I think you're right there, because I've said that even last season and the season before. To be honest, I've said that he's just injury prone. Simple.
I think Slot rates McConnell more than he rates Stefan personally.
Do you think Morton will go?
Tyler Morton? Yeah, I mean, what? Well, when's he going to play?
And where's he going to go? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got teams he can go to, but, you know, Graham Birch and McAllister, for me, are probably going to be your double pivot players that start games most weeks. And then your Curtis Jones can come in. Your Endos can come in. You know, your Szoboszlai, for me, can play in that role as well. Now you got Wirtz in the 10. You can play Szoboszlai a bit deeper. So when you're looking at it like that, where does Tyler Morton get game time? Tyler Morton's been at Liverpool a long time now, and he's never really broken through. And he's a good footballer, Tyler Morton, and I think he's got a good career ahead of him. My one is Harvey Elliott. I don't want Harvey Elliott to go. I rate Harvey Elliott highly. I think Harvey Elliott's got an extreme. I think Harvey Elliott has got a higher ceiling than Curtis Jones personally as a footballer. The difference between Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott is that Curtis Jones is more physical. which allows him to play more games for Liverpool than Harvey Elliott. Because Harvey is a creative goal-scoring footballer, which means he's got to play in the attacking end of the game. You got Virtus.
Do you think he went out to prove himself in that tournament for the under-21?
Yeah, you saw it in that, how good he is. I mean, but the thing is, yeah, he's the same age as Wirtz, and Wirtz is light years ahead of him. You know, you've got Salah who plays right wing. Salah, like, you don't really have a Mo Salah backup because he plays every week. And then if you want a Mo Salah backup, it's probably Harvey Elliott. But then how many games is Harvey going to play next season if he's Mo's backup?
Yeah. And
then in the number 10 position, you'd say Szoboszlai is still ahead of Harvey in that area because he's more physical.
Yeah.
Harvey's only issue is his physicality. That is really it. Because as a pure footballer, he's very good. And I don't want him to go. But I also want him...
like he is, you know, to be honest.
But I want him to play football, Frank. This is the thing. I don't want to see good players not play. And Liverpool can get good money for him, especially after under-21s. You see the amount of play... You know, Madueke going to Arsenal for 50+ million quid, yeah? Then if I'm Liverpool, I want 40 to 50 million for Harvey Elliott. Easy.
Well, that's what pundits are saying now because of that tournament. He's worth now 40 to 50 million.
Oh, easy. Every day of the week.
And the Scottish Bear says, Frank, what's happening with the bungalow? Are you still joining my club? And I'm on the list, Scottish, and I was waiting for a woman to come around, to be honest, to talk to me.
Oh, were you?
But she didn't come, unfortunately. She never
waiting for a woman
to talk to me. So,
oh, we're always waiting for a woman to come around, Frank, don't we?
My grandson's gone over to fight. He's one of those, you know, martial art fellas who go in the ring. I forget what you call it. But he's gone over to Thailand for a month to fight.
Oh, nice.
And he said, he said, and he was dead serious, you know. He said, Granddad. I said, what? And he was whispering because his mother was there, you see, you know, sitting down. And he went, Granddad, do you want me to bring you back a mail order bride? Just looked at him. A mail order bride.
Does the postman ring her to the door and then you got to sign for her? Is that what it is?
Like the Amazon, yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I've got to take a photo for proof. Sign here.
Oh, it's crazy. We will play in our last season kit right as well because we don't have Adidas kits till August season.
Yeah, 1st of August, yeah. So this is a thing for everyone as well. If you want last season's kits, yeah, go to the Liverpool store now because they'll be like 60% off because they need to get rid of them all so they can put the Adidas ones out on the 1st of August. So a little tip for everyone. If you want the kits from last year and you couldn't afford them, you probably pick them up for like 30 odd quid now. So yeah. Go and do it, man. Go and do it.
That is, you know, and the blog says, good point there about Slot and the players having a meeting about pre-season game. Maybe players have been offered a few more days off, etc. Our club look after their own. And I think that's a cracking quote.
Yeah.
Comment. I think the new faces coming in will help the grieving, but I think that's a cracking comment.
Yeah, Wirtz, you know, it affects them because it's the footballing world, but you know, Wirtz, Frimpong and Kirkes wouldn't have known Jota like everyone else, would they? So they'd be upset, but it would help the grieving process, no doubt. What will help the grieving process as well is when they all go to Asia next week for pre-season, so they get out of here together. They can all get out of the country together, be together for about 2-3 weeks before the season starts, and I think that'll help as well. I actually think this game on Sunday will help as well. I know a lot of people saying it's too soon, but I think sometimes the players might just need to go out there, show their face, and kick a ball around for 90 minutes. Just, you know, I think that might help them. Yeah, I think that might.
And I think you'll be glad of this because the Scottish Bear says, guys, who's going to be the backup for Mo? We need more than just Frimpong. I would keep Elliott and tell him you're the backup for Mo.
Well, that's what Slot told him last season, wasn't it? He literally went, Harvey can't get game time because he's Mo's backup and Mo plays every week. So again, I think Harvey knows he needs to play football and he has to go somewhere to play football because this kid's got to be special. And do you know what it is? Harvey's come to Liverpool at the wrong time almost.
Yeah.
If Harvey came if Harvey was 22 about 8 years ago when Liverpool were on the come up again, he would have fitted in perfectly. But where we are now, it's just missed out. Again, I know a lot of Liverpool fans are like, well, can't believe we're keeping Curtis Jones over Harvey. And I understand that sentiment. I always say, like, Curtis plays because he's more robust and physical than Harvey, and he can play in them deeper positions where, unfortunately, Harvey can't. Can you imagine Harvey in a double pivot? It's just not going to work, is it? It get bullied there. Where Curtis can do it, and that, for me, that's why Curtis plays more. But I don't think Curtis will be at Liverpool much longer either. This could be Curtis's last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't forget he's a Scouser, and this is what Scousers want as well, a Scouser in the team. That's what.
Yeah, Scouser in the team,
you know,
man.
with the other fella gone as well.
I don't know.
Remember when Chelsea had Salah and sold him too early? What a different dimension that seems like now.
They had De Bruyne and Salah, didn't they? They didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, Callum says he must be watching the game like you. Real Madrid might need Konate here.
All I'm saying here right now is glad I didn't get Xavi Alonso as manager.
And there's Christopher says as well. Johan, they also sold Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
And they did, didn't they?
The thing with Chelsea, what everyone's got to remember, though, that Chelsea team on Marino was set back then as well. They're quality players, man.
Yeah.
No, Trent's not playing. Trent's not playing.
Isn't he? No. How do you see that?
Trent bottled it.
The spirit of LFC fans. Hi, everyone. Hiya, spirit.
Yeah,
and look, Hamza Ayas. Jamie, who's your front 5 to 6 players?
I don't know if we'll have that many next season. But I'm going off the top of my head right now. Gakpo, Salah, Isak, Rodrigo. If Diaz goes, they might go for Rodrigo. I've got a funny feeling Liverpool might still go Anthony Gordon. That's 4. And then Florian Wirtz can probably play left wing as well. So that's 5. Yeah.
Do you like Anthony Gordon?
I highly rate Anthony Gordon, yeah.
Okay, then.
I think there's a lot of his game. It's very good. That's never been unleashed enough in the club that he's at. And I think at Liverpool he'd be unleashed a little bit more. I also think because he's a Red and a Liverpool fan, that's our scouser in our team next season. That's why Curtis can go, see. And
no, you don't care about being a scouser in the team.
And I think he'll fight for the badge more than some others.
I don't think Newcastle will let both of them go.
No, there could be a world where Liverpool go to Newcastle and buy Anthony Gordon and not Isak, and that will piss so many people off. I think the club like him. The club might have moved on. It might have moved on. And look, if Rodrigo's available, go for Rodrigo, man. I mean, Rodrigo, Ekitike, Salah is your front 3. Can't go much. Gakpo is back up. Wirtz can play left wing if needed as well. So Bosley can play left wing. You know, you got options there. So, yeah, Liverpool were in a strange position because they did have obviously Jota for his passing. So, unless Liverpool go out by 2 forwards and a winger, they might have to. They might look at it and go, you know what, we need to buy 2 forwards and a winger and change everything up. I don't know. The next few weeks will tell us how Liverpool go, guys. It really will.
Okay. I'm just, Simon comes out with 2 things, but I'm going to go to red goals here. Big up Frank and big up Jamie. Now, who's the red goals? Is one of your lads?
Probably. I've got so many, I don't know.
Well,
bigger.
all right. Somebody both.
Yeah, more than likely. I know red goals. I've seen red goals about. So big up red goals.
So, as one of the lads says, you know, if you're new to you know, this channel here, can you you know, like and subscribe, please?
Yeah, come on, guys. What are we doing?
That's nice.
Like,
That's nice. Yeah, you our brother from another mother. We're not buying his wife. Iconic line.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. We're
It
not.
was so funny. It's the we got all excited and angry, and yeah, we're not buying his wife.
I just get so wound up with it when people go, "Oh, the missus don't want to move," and you know, I'm sure she's going to be happy when she sees your wage slip. You know what I mean? Let's just carry on.
The IBRs with us, even Professor Don Franco and a legend, Jamie.
Big up, man.
Now, we've said that, haven't we? Now, here's a good one as well, and it's from the blogs. Can't wait to see how good Wirtz and Salah link up will be.
It's got to be different, man.
It's going to be totally different, isn't it?
Once you see what Wirtz does, yeah, it's going to be. Wirtz is going to play central. I know a lot of people think he might play left wing. I don't think he will. No, I think he can play left wing if needed. But I think the majority of games he'll play in that number 10 role in that central area. And him and Salah linking up, him and the striker linking up, the left winger linking up. Yeah, he's going to be phenomenal, man. Phenomenal.
Absolutely. And Simon says, Franco, don't forget sometimes to talk about Hicks/Gillette and what Tommy Smith told you about the Moors deal with them. Thanks. I will do. Listen, can I just say to the people on here, tomorrow night, I'm doing you like this as well, but I'm doing the Gunpowder Plot tomorrow night, lads. Tune in if you want to hear the truth about the Gunpowder Plot.
Could do that now, couldn't we?
Oh, the misinformation, the propaganda, like Liverpool.
We could do that now, ain't you lying? Do you know what I
mean? You wouldn't, Coco. But honestly, you know, it's just so tune in tomorrow night, lads, and
there you go.
There's something new. Honestly, you'll enjoy it. I will do that, Simon. I'll talk about that sooner rather than later. I'll talk about it next week, actually, about what Tommy Smith told me. I was doing a documentary about Inter Milan, Liverpool, and John Keith was
the referee that cost us the game.
Yeah. He was bribed. Brian Granville, who's just died, unfortunately, he was on as well. With some old, well, he looked old then.
Yeah,
from the Daily Express and Tommy Smith and myself, and we did a documentary on it. And what Tommy Smith told me about Hicks and Gillette, and with them buying it as well. And John Keith was sitting there, and I was looking at John, and he was like, you know, in agreement, he already knew anything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, look. I don't see Curtis leaving as we lack homegrown players.
That's what
I said, though. That's what you said, wasn't it?
Not this summer, but I can see it maybe happening next summer.
As you said about Anthony Gordon as well.
Mm.
And the Scottish Bear, I can see West Ham using the 55 million they just got for Kudos going to Spurs. They might spend that on, there you go, Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott would do really well at West Ham.
He's a little Londoner though as well, isn't he?
Yeah, especially under Graham Potter, who let him play football. So that could work. Yeah.
What do you think of Potter?
He's a prick.
You know, I can't make this fella out.
He he thinks he's better than he is.
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than he is. He thinks he's some kind of tactical master, technician. I play football this way, the right way. But then his teams always struggle. So, yeah, he looks good on the eye. His teams look good on the eye, but they always struggle. So, yeah, I think he thinks a lot of himself. Let's put it that way.
Well, the red goal says someone said Trent is injured.
Yeah, apparently he is, yeah.
And he carries on by saying, I'm subscribed to the both of you. Thank you, Red Goals. I really
I knew I saw red goals around. They got red goals.
And living the dream sounds interesting.
Certainly does.
I really appreciate you coming on, because I didn't know that they were playing tonight. Because I've been dead busy giving cups of tea and coffee and everything to this fucking fella who was there, this engineer, to get us on tonight. Because the whole of the thing collapsed. And they came up. Do you know what I've been doing, Jamie? I pay direct debit, and I've been paying for Ultra, the top things, internet thing.
Yeah.
And I haven't got it. He said, you've only got this. You better get onto the...
they conjure. Bastards.
I've been paying all this time for it.
You thought you had a top whack and you were just getting... Yeah. You thought you were getting Waitrose, but you were getting Aldi. Exactly. Is that what was happening?
I was thinking like a footballer, what I mean? On the money. Absolutely.
Get your money back, man. Get your money back.
You, I'm not as rich as you, Jamie. You say. And Toscana says the gunpowder plot don't give us ideas, Franco. That's what Jamie said.
Tell you what, man.
Yeah. IBR says if we don't get Dewey, then our move for Gordon is more likely due to homegrown quotas.
Yeah. And that's another reason we haven't bought anyone yet as well, another player yet, because we're over the limit for foreign players. Yeah. That's why we're trying to sell Darwin and stuff like that. So once they're sold, that's when you see the transfers pick up again.
And the IBR, we certainly need a new guy, folks, and a successful one.
Have you ever seen that film? Have you ever seen that film Vendetta? Viva Vendetta?
No, there's a reason why. It's like I'm a historian,
I know.
As you know, and do you know if there's anything that's like out of context with the...
It pisses you off. It pisses you off. Yeah, I get it.
Do you know what, though? Honestly, Jamie, I'm not saying look in tomorrow or anything, but if you're doing nothing one day, and just get on my site because look at the gunpowder plot, and you'll hear something new. I had to study for this, and I mean study. Well, I was at uni. I'm going back years and years ago, when I was doing a PhD, and I was really into it, getting all this documentation, and I'm talking about primary source. And as I was reading it, I couldn't believe it. I really could not believe what I was reading about the gunpowder plot.
Interesting.
And Shakespeare, by the way, good friends, Shakespeare. And as Callum says, we'll never sell Jones after the derby.
Oh, yeah, he's goal against Everton.
Graham Potter thinks he's Harry Potter.
He does think he's some kind of magician, man.
I think that's great. If LFC was a chicken, somebody at its left wing, now headless, and one of the feet seems to want to walk in the wrong direction towards Spain. Yeah. Well, that's a good analogy, isn't it? Jamie, I'll let you go, mate. I'm finishing now.
Big up, man.
Jamie, it's been a pleasure.
I loved it, man. I loved it.
Will you come on again?
Of course I will, man. Of course I will.
Excellent stuff. Amazing you said that. Amazing. And our Johan says, Frank, doesn't suffer fools gladly when it comes to his historical inaccuracies. Thank you for that, Johan. Thank you. And Simon says, Jamie, we had a discussion a few weeks ago about fans and their views on oil money. Would you mind FSG selling to Qatar or Dubai? Personally, I think it will put LFC on a different level. You know, if he was selling that, what he means if he was selling.
Yeah, if they sold it. I'll tell you what would happen, yeah? If Liverpool got oil money, the Premier League would make it their apparent mission to stop Liverpool spending it.
Brilliant.
I could tell you that right now. I think Liverpool would struggle. Liverpool would struggle to sell, use the money, because I believe all the teams would look at it and go, right, Liverpool are ready made anyway. They're a gigantic club. We can't have them having unlimited money, because there'd be no PSR issues because of the amount of money Liverpool make anyway. The commercial revenue Liverpool make is going to be 700 quid, almost 700 million every year. They can't go out. We can't let them go out and spend 400 million every year and do whatever they want. They'd put a stop to it. You know, Liverpool would struggle to spend as much as it's a great idea, and I hear everyone's opinion on it. The Premier League would stop it. You know, they wouldn't. There'd be a Liverpool rule that would come in. You know, and you know, Man City have been 115 charges. Yeah, you can guarantee if that was Liverpool, we'd be arrested and put in the docks already. You know what I mean? Because everyone hates us. You know, so. The media look at Liverpool different to they look at everyone else as well. So, yeah, we'd be fucked.
That's a great point, that. That's it. You know what, though? I think that's, rather than just a comment, what you've said, I think that's should be discussed, actually. You know, because of the way people, the way other fans, the way other clubs, and the way even the FA look at Liverpool. I'm not being funny when I say the FA. Yeah. I'm not being funny whatsoever, because I think that'll be a great discussion, to be honest. I really do. But the way things are, freedom of speech is gone, and we'll all end up doing 14 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Anyway, the Scottish says, cheers, Jamie. It's great to see you back on Frank's channel. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely.
We got me.
And the IBR, cheers, Don Franco. And thank you, Jamie, says Johan. Thank you, Jamie, Frank, Jason, legends in the chat. Have a good night, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Oh, that's great. That's lovely. Simon, Jamie and Franco, thank you for tonight. Good open views. And come back again, Jamie. Yeah.
We'll do, yeah, don't worry about that. Frank's my pal, man. I'm always here.
Yeah, look. IBR says.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Do you know? And do you know what? That comment hurts me because I'm a Labour supporter. So that comment hurts me, man. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. I've been
Labour all my life, man.
Toscana, I'm going to ring you right after the show. I hope you don't mind, or send you a message right after the show, honestly. The Living the Dream says, great chat. Thanks, fellas. No, thank you for joining in. I think that's brilliant. Thank you so much. But since I was 18 years of age, Jamie, I've voted Labour right through. The last election, I didn't vote for the first time in my life.
You're just too torn. The thing is, you can't vote for the Blue Party, can you? Do you know what I mean? So, you're stuck, ain't you? You're stuck.
No.
You're stuck.
And Toscana says, grazie, Franco and Jamie. Great chat. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Glad you enjoyed. Yeah, lovely. Glad you enjoyed.
Jamie, mille grazie, mate. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it,
I'll be in touch now because I've got you on X.
Yeah. DM me, man.
Send you a message if you don't mind.
Just no nudes. Yeah, no nudes.
Is that okay?
Yeah, just no nudes, Frank. Yeah, no nudes.
No,
we're good.
No. Jamie, it's been absolutely brilliant to have you. Honestly, I'm not flattering or anything because you're a genuine red, and you say it as it is.
Always
Stormers and
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Like with Liverpool, I've always said it. I am Liverpool first and football second. Do you know what I mean? That's.
I know that, Jamie.
I
was told that, by the way, by a certain person. Did you know that?
No,
a certain person told me that.
I argue with a lot of so-called Liverpool fans because I always see them glazing other teams. Oh, look what Arsenal doing. I was like, you're meant to be a Liverpool fan. Who cares? You know what I mean? It irritates me.
First and foremost. But, you've got to take your hats off to this lad named Johan because he comes on like my history show and, even tomorrow night he'll be on, tuning in. And also the current affairs, because I do a current affairs one. And he's dead nice. He really is, and he's genuine. And he was so heartbroken over Diogo, if you know what I mean. And Simon says, football is like life. It requires perseverance, self-denial, hard work, sacrifice, dedication, and respect for authority. Good night, lads. Isn't that lovely? He's a lovely lad.
That's lovely, man. It's lovely.
Big up, lads. You never walk alone. Let's be Preston for him, says Callum. Great show, says Christopher. And Johan, just a realist, can't be glazing the Glazers. Congrats on the England's women, Frank. Do you watch women? No, I don't, Dickie.
No. Well done on the women's team, though. Now they can get home and make dinner for their husband, I'm joking, people.
I know you are.
But I don't actually watch I don't actually watch the women's game that as much. I watch it here and there. I see. I saw England's first game where they lost. The women. What I will say about the women's game is come on a lot now. They got more money. You can tell more money's come into the club, into the game and stuff like that. But women's. It's just not for me, and I think that's it's a fair comment. It's just not for me, the women's game, and But if my daughter wants to, if it's something for my daughter to watch and what she loves women's football, then that's good for her because, I think that's how it should be. I just, what I don't like is all the wokeness. They go, why you men should watch women's football? I'm like, why? Why? Let us watch what we enjoy, and if it's enjoyable, we'll watch it. And there's good games. England won the Euros 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, and they were tremendous. And the final was excellent, and I enjoyed watching it. It's just not for me, that's all. But I don't watch all men's football either.
And you know what else I don't like, Jamie? Whether you agree or not, and Toscana will agree with us as well. I don't like women commentators.
No, they're shit. I don't like even my wife. Yeah, my wife's like, my wife would rather watch men's football than women's football.
Well, there you go.
And that's my wife would tell you that if she hears a woman's commentator on men's football, she's like, why?
Same as France, same as daughter.
Yeah. She's like,
even my granddaughter.
Yeah,
even my
but I don't. As I keep saying, everything should be for everyone. Yeah. There should be something for everyone in the world, right? What you shouldn't do is try and make everyone watch something. Because it's like, hundreds of millions of people watch men's football. Why don't they watch women's football? It's the same sport. And it's like,
well, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't do that. If the young girls of today are fascinated by the women footballers of today and they become their heroes and something to grasp onto, that's beautiful. You've got a great moment there. That's what they should be doing. They should be going to, girls. The girls should, when I was growing up, like when you're playing in PE, the boys play football and rugby, and the girls played netball and stuff like that. Yeah, you never had that. You never had that mix. Today, society, the girls can play football, and the schools are now building girls' football teams for girls to find some because they love football, but they don't want to play with the boys because it's too rough, and they go into the girls' teams and. if women's football are helping girls like football like that, that's beautiful and that's enough. And you know what I mean? Like, and just leave it like that. Don't force
Do you know what
everything.
we used to play when we were young, young kids, about, between 13, 14 and 15 even.
Yeah.
We used to play with the girl rounders.
Rounders, yeah, I used to play a bit of rounders sometimes. I'd absolutely smash them. Yeah.
And the girls.
They throw the ball like that and you just smash the shit out of it.
But we used to run. We used to run after the ball as well.
Yeah.
And the girls as well. We used to run after them. I'll get
it. I remember in school, though, boys hated girls, didn't they? Like, you hated girls when you was in school as a boy.
Well, yeah, Toscana says, I won't watch ladies' football and I can't listen to female commentator on the men's game. No thanks. And if I think anything is woke, I'll turn it off.
Yeah, it's the agenda. It's them making a point. You should watch this. Why ain't you watching it? It's like, because I don't want to. I don't want to.
It makes me swear to be on.
Yeah, look, if it's good and I've got it on and it's good and it's catching my attention, then I'll watch it. If it's not, I'll change the channel. By the way, that happens in men's football. I could be watching a Spanish game. If it's not grabbing my attention, I'll turn it off. Do you know what I mean? It's not, works both ways.
It does work both ways. And Johan, I'm finishing on this. Johan.
Oh, I can't stand this woman.
He says that
Any Aluko
is it? Girl has some outlandish takes as a pundit.
It's what she said about Ian Wright, and she got absolutely killed for it, didn't she?
I don't know. I don't watch them, honestly.
Because Ian Wright is bigged up the women's game more than any other male footballer or ex-pro or anything like that, and she had a go at him. And
really?
Yeah. And it came back to hit her, actually. Everyone was even the women were sticking up for Ian Wright, and it all came back on her. Yeah, it all came back on her.
Do you know what I think, whether you agree with this? I think Ian Wright is a closet red.
That's because his brother's a Liverpool fan.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, see. I didn't know. I'm going to finish, ladies and gents. I just want to thank this great man, lovely fella, very respectful, Jamie Phillips. And you'll catch Jamie on his little chat. Jamie Phillips chat. Okay, on YouTube, you get him. Jamie, thank you so much.
No worries, my friend.
I really appreciate it. As I said, I'll send you a link and that. I'll give you the words, if you can come on one night again, if you don't mind.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. And thank you all, to all the people out there, thank you so much for keeping Jamie and myself company tonight. Great comments. This is what it's all about. Comments about Liverpool, comments about, the tragedy and everything else. And we'll never forget the number 20. We'll never forget that lad. We'll never forget his brothers, family, and everybody else connected with Diogo. And we'll be seeing Jamie again, thank God. And thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to Jason Pennington, the producer, and everybody else. And as the Red Gold says, fantastic show. Good night all. Thank you. Ciao.